What's so special about the music from Zelda Breath of the Wild? So I've been hearing about this video game and its music for years now, and apparently a lot of people like to make comparisons between the soundtrack and my own music. So of course I checked out the soundtrack, and I'm gonna be honest with you, at first I really didn't understand the hype. But this has all changed, and I realized how wrong I was after I actually tried playing the game.
I get it. It already makes sense.
I'm gonna die, aren't I?
So in this video, I'm gonna give you a breakdown of this incredible music, and if you stick around until the end, you'll get to hear how I would play this music myself, infusing it with my own personal style of composition. The game has been out since 2017, which means that I am a full 6 years late to the party. But hey, at least I knew that the party I was going to was gonna be good. The game is part of the Legend of Zelda series, and the gist of it is that you are exploring this vast amount of land while trying to fend off enemies and monsters to become the hero and save the world. I know this is not the best description of it, but I'm still trying to figure it out.
Oh, now I get it. I understand why people are comparing my music to Breath of the Wild.
The music was written by composers Manaka Kataoka, Yasuaki Iwata, and Hajime Wakai. The soundtrack consists of so many things. I would describe it as semi-atmospheric, a bit understated, containing multiple genres and styles, piano heavy with some synthesizer sounds and a lot of Foley type sounds as well. Rhythmically intricate, very exciting, very percussive, and very whimsical with an air of mystery as well. In order to fully understand the music, I really think you need to listen to it within the context of the gameplay itself. Chances are you're hearing fragments of one thing, and then suddenly you'll hear a part of another thing, interspliced with a lot of effects, a lot of Foley sounds, and then it starts to all blend so beautifully together. There are so many different types of sounds, genres, and styles involved in the soundtrack. These are all accommodating the different parts of the game's themes, which have a lot to do with exploration, the push and pull between ancient times and the future, nature versus technology, and the feelings of nostalgia and searching for memories. This is why it works to hear everything from calm ambient music, big band inspired fanfares, folk music from various cultures, lush orchestral writing, and synthesizer heavy tracks. I also really love how there are separate night and day versions of a lot of the tracks. This really adds to the atmosphere, and it heightens the quality of the interaction you have with the game. I think the sound of the acoustic piano in particular matches the mood of the landscapes very well. This is almost like a sound effect built into the track. So we just have a simple E-flat major chord with an added ninth, and because it's in the lower register spread out like that, it just sounds really massive and velvety.
Did I die? I died?
Yep. Now, let us do some of the sound effects. It's really the summary of my experience of the game so far.
Really? That's it?
You hear this all the time. This is also when you get an item. This is when you solve a puzzle. As you can hear, so many of these sound effects are very musical. They're little fragments that can be turned into little pieces, in my opinion. Now let's talk about some of the themes. This soundtrack contains some of the most memorable melodies, with the slightest bit of an adventurous sense of harmony. For example, in the main theme, you have a general tonal center, but the harmonic progression doesn't always support that. The tonal center here is generally in C minor, but there are chords that don't quite fit in with the key. For example, this D-flat major chord can be interpreted in multiple ways. As a Neapolitan chord, as the 6th chord of the 4 in C minor, or the result of switching between C Aeolian and C Phrygian. In the second half of the phrase, these chords, A minor and F major, are borrowed chords from the parallel C major key. Here's another one with a rather nostalgic undertone. So we have that chromatic bass line here. So it has this lamenting quality. Borrowed augmented chord. And again, this modal Phrygian type sound. And by the way, if you are ever feeling a little behind in terms of keeping up with the music terminology that I use or anything music theory related, do check out my book, Elements of Music. I designed this specifically for this purpose to help you fill in these gaps of knowledge. I'll put the link in the description. There is a special discount happening as I release this video, so do check it out. When the danger level goes up, for example in battle, the music switches to become much more rhythmically intricate, energetic, percussive, and some of the synthesized sounds in particular that I hear in these tracks, they sound very uncomfortable and stressful. For example, the Guardian theme is incredibly stressful to listen to. And the important thing is that it's meant to be this way. Sometimes as you're playing, you hear the music before you see the enemies, and this is a signal that danger is coming. Also hear the rhythm in this shrine battle music. I hear this in 13. The pattern itself is not that complicated, but it is very unpredictable, which is very important in terms of hearing it over and over again. Now for my arrangement, I'm going to take the main theme and we'll elaborate on it in my own personal style. And I'm going to take some of the aspects of the soundtrack that I love the most and lean into them. For example, I really love how peculiar and quirky the music is. I love how it's really not afraid to be too much or not enough of something. And another thing is that I want to preserve this sense of intimacy in the music. Even when the music becomes very bombastic and loud, there's still this intimacy. And I want to somehow capture that with my arrangement. So now, without further ado, here is my arrangement of the main theme from Breath of the Wild. So what did you think? Let me know in the comments. A special thank you to my patrons on Patreon. And again, if you are interested in getting my book, Elements of Music, the link will be in the description below, and there is a special discount happening. So make sure you don't miss that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.